NBA ratings are down, way down. And Colin Cowherd has a theory. We'll get into that next. So to me, it's not a surprise that the ratings for the NBA are down. I mean, all the social justice stuff they've been pushing. Remember during I think it was the Ferguson riots in Ferguson, Missouri, they had the hands up, don't shoot thing going on. I mean, the NBA is just out of touch, period. Well, one Colin Cowherd, and I've followed Colin since his Sports Nation days back on ESPN. I don't always agree with Colin, but in this case, I do agree with Colin. And I'm pulling this from over at Breitbart. Warner Todd Houston. Colin Cowherd compares crashing NBA ratings to the dumb election debacle. They lost regular people. You don't say. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Colin Cowherd blasted the National Basketball Association's ratings collapse because the league has failed to give the fans what they want and compared that epic collapse to what has happened with the Democrat Party. In a recent broadcast of his The Herd Show, heard on afternoons on Fox Sports Radio, and I think you can pick it up on Fox Sports 1, Cowherd noted that the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has done a good job addressing CTE problems and has navigated a multitude of cultural changes. But Silver's tinkering has strayed so far from what the fans want that TV ratings have collapsed. Cowherd said he tinkers, he evolves. Meanwhile, the NBA ratings are down 48% in the last 12 years. Ouch. And they have fallen off a cliff this year. Adam Silver's solution is, let's make the courts brighter. Yet he went on to call the NBA embarrassing. I'm going to play a little clip for you guys. And I think this is more in line with the reason why people are tuning out of the NBA. And Patrick Bet David posted this to X. And this is San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich. He's as lefty as left can get. He ranks up there with Steve Kerr as far as being way out there on the radical left. So here you go.
So he's pathetic. He's small. He's
the he is referring to is Donald Trump, by the way. He's not a fan of Trump.
A whiner. We all know that. But you wouldn't have him babysit your kids. You wouldn't hire him if you had a small business. You want that man in your business? There's no way. But you're going to vote for him for president because he's strong? I mean, Kamala Harris whipped his ass in the debate, just obviously, and he's running ever since. He doesn't want any part of her because, as she said before, she's eaten many of his type for lunch.
Oh my God. Kamala whipped his ass in the debate and he's running from her because she has said that she's eaten many of his type for lunch. I have a word for that. How about no? How about you're full of shit? Let's continue.
As an attorney general, as a prosecutor,
she didn't do shit as an attorney general, as a prosecutor. She didn't do shit.
He's a small fry compared to some of the people she's gone after. And he knows it. So all he can do is cut people down, and do what he does. We've all seen all that kind of stuff. The ones that you can be even more angry about, because he's sick. He's a damaged man. He grew up the biggest wannabe there ever was in New York, right? We all know that. He wanted to be in the inner circle, but they laughed at him his whole life, just like Obama.
Greg, Donald Trump has had a lasting imprint on the New York City skyline. They loved him in New York until he came down that golden escalator in 2015. I don't know what you've been smoking, but you need to go smoke some more.
Made fun of him at that dinner, and he was about to melt. That angered him so bad, it was scary. But he was never accepted. He was treated like a fool, like a clown. And now he's able to just give the finger to the world because of his position now. And that's what he's doing. He's getting back at everybody because he's so small, he's got to go after everybody, just like we all know the generals and Mike Pence and all that. We've all heard that before. But those people around him, you know, the Grahams, the Cruzes,
the Grahams? Lindsey Graham? Really? Lindsey Graham puts his finger, puts it up in the wind to see which way the direction's the wind blowing, and that's what stance he takes. Lindsey Graham is a wet noodle.
Hawleys, Meadows, McCarthy, McConnell, all those guys.
McCarthy, McConnell, are you kidding me? Kevin McCarthy hates Donald Trump. Mitch McConnell hates Donald Trump. They're not America first. They're America last. All they're worried about is keeping and maintaining their power in government.
All older white men, which so happens to be, they know he's an ass. They said it.
Yeah, we know he's an ass. And we reelected him to continue to be an ass. To do a job that hopefully he does, and that's to clean up government. In fact, I hope they shrink government. The federal government's gotten too big.
I'm not saying that I think they think that. They've told us that ever since, 2015, 16, all that kind of thing. I mean, they've called him a xenophobic, a religious bigot, a racist.
Oh, here we go. Should have known this was coming. He's every istanism in the book. He's xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic. He's racist. He's a misogynist.
Unfit for office.
Unfit for office because he doesn't act presidential. He's not a statesman like Barack Obama, who's a smooth criminal.
On and on and on. Their words. But they're right there with him. Do they not know that they have children and grandchildren probably that are going to lose freedom if this guy is elected?
Lose freedom if this guy's elected. Just precisely how are we going to lose freedom, Greg? This is the NBA right here. This is, and the thing of it is, the commissioner, Adam Silver, he believes this stuff too. He just doesn't come out and say it. He's one of them.
I'm not talking about a policy. I'm talking about the idea of our country.
So, you want to know why the ratings are crashing for the NBA? Right here. So just a few comments going down the line. John Rich, on top of shutting down Ennis Freedom, LeBron showing hand signs on the court and the communist Chinese dictating what players can say and not say. Oh, and the BLM stickers on the floor while the country burned down. Other than that, yeah, they're pretty good. Viewership is down because the league has done a poor job showcasing its next generation of stars. There was Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Steph, KD, and the last three are in their golden years. The league needs to showcase Ant, Wemby, Shai, Paulo, Luka. I would say that's partially right. You do need to have a new crop of stars you can showcase when you're in a league like the NBA or Major League Baseball or the NBA. But when you have coaches spouting off like Greg Popovich is here, like Steve Kerr has done in the past, that's your problem. And people are tuning it out. They're done with it. They're done with the virtue signaling. That's all this 2-minute and 25-second clip was nothing but Greg Popovich virtue signaling what he projects Donald Trump as. In his mind, TDS on steroids. I mean, myself, as somebody that watches basketball, I haven't really watched the NBA since Jordan retired. I could give two craps about the NBA. I'd rather watch college basketball. That's just me. Popovich might know basketball, but when it comes to politics, he's clearly watching too much game film and not enough reality. This is why sports figures should stay in their lane. Fans tune in to escape politics, not to get lectured by a coach. Yep, exactly. So much anger. Laughing emoji. He's like the De Niro of the NBA, permanently triggered by Trump. TDS off the charts. Pop just sounds like another basic MSNBC addicted moron at the end of the day. Probably so mad right now. So crazy the way they talk down to their audience. The hubris blows my mind. Why is he even speaking about this? Isn't he a basketball coach? Yeah. This is a great meme right here. This is why the NBA ratings are down. Yeah, this is the other reason why, right here. And right here. They've done it to themselves, folks. So Colin's not wrong. I mean, there's other things too, like the what is it, the load management that goes on in the NBA now. Players are just, taking themselves out of playing games to rest. You only play 82 games in a season. It's not like baseball where they play 162. Football, they play 17 weeks or 18 weeks. Load management. Ratings have dropped a staggering 48% since 2012, and the season's numbers show further decline. TNT games average 1.8 million viewers, while ESPN's ratings are down 28% from last year, sitting at 1.77 million viewers per game. Even high-profile initiatives like the NBA Cup have failed to captivate audiences, with viewership for the tournament dropping 10% compared to its inaugural season. So there you have the reason why NBA ratings are down. But what do you guys say out there? Comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. While you're at it, please take the time to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Share this video out there with your friends and family. With that, I will see you guys